How do you feel about your desires that are not fulfilled yet? Do you still feel hopeful about them? Do you feel anticipation for them? How do you feel about those desires that are not fulfilled yet? Do you feel good about your desires, or do you feel like they're so stubborn that you just hate them? That you want to avoid them? You don't even want to think about your desires anymore because they torture you. Well, when your desires torture you, that's good. If your answer is yes, I'm enjoying the desires that are not fulfilled yet because I can see them in my mind and I'm enjoying the essence of them, and I understand because of my steady satisfaction and my acknowledgement that there is so much evidence all over the place, then if that's your answer, then you're doing really well. Then you are equipped to have and be the creator that you came here to be. You're the ultimate creator because you can find satisfaction wherever you are. We've been talking a lot about daydreaming lately, and daydreaming really is the best way to discuss this idea that you're emanating a vibration all the time, and the universe doesn't know what you're emanating the vibration based off of, what you're seeing or what you're imagining. And so things get really interesting when you start daydreaming because you can have a lot of fun with it. And then when you start writing it down, the power starts to really generate. When you hold a thought for 17 seconds, another thought comes that is very akin to it. Then another, and once you hit the 68-second mark, then there is enough momentum. You have created a new pathway. You have created a force that will be answered by the law of attraction. You are beginning to create something now once you hit the 68-second mark. But usually our human friends, they can't get to that 68-second mark because of resistance, because they contradict what they think. They contradict their thoughts. They shoot it down. They're like, I know I want it, but. And today we want to say that it's kind of not your fault because of momentum. You have these beliefs that you've picked up. You see, if we were to hit you, over the head when you just came into this body, and we told you about everything that we're telling you now, that there's a law of attraction, that you're supposed to have an amazing time, and all these desires are just a reason for life summoning through you. The desires are not the awards on the wall like you think you are, because they're all peak experiences. The true peak experience is your moment to moment. The true value of knowing about the law of attraction is making every moment pleasurable. It's about making every moment so fun, because that's all you get. You just get this moment and the next moment, and it's about your feeling good now or not. And so you would get it. You would have understood it. But what's funny is that as a young kid, if you heard that, you would be like, yeah, I know, because it's our young friends, our young creators. They're so good because you can see them in school. They're sitting on that carpet and they're not listening to a thing the teacher says. They're completely blissed out in their thoughts because they don't understand stomping all over their desires. They don't understand and contradict your energy yet. They're so in their imagination. They're in their vibrational reality. Because they're a match with, they're receiving and they're seeing images of it. And if you're probably watching this video, you definitely have felt that before, because everyone isn't connected to source energy. You see, source energy is not unattainable. Source energy is literally who you are. So it's not something that is so out of reach that you have to do a lot of work and that you have to do so much. There's so many steps to get to that level of connection. No, not at all. When you feel negative emotion, you're connected to your inner being. You're connected to your source. That's what we call your source energy, your inner being, the person who you really are, the real version of you that you truly are. And your inner being has got your back. So when we're talking about daydreaming is really fun because there's so much value in daydreaming, because it's really all about creating a vibration in your mind that's apart from what you're seeing. Because our friends, all they do is look at what is. All they see is the reality in front of them, because they think that the reality is real and they have to contain it, they have to talk about it, and they feel a sort of responsibility over that reality, which makes a lot of sense. Because if you look at your bank account right now and you don't have any money, then you're like, okay, well, I need to do something about that. Like, that's a problem. I need to almost get to the bottom of that. But there's no bottom to any of your problems. You see, you can't continue to look at reality and be able to change it. And that's usually what happens to our human friends. If what you want hasn't come yet, it's because you have a pattern of looking at what is and looking at the fact that it's absent more than you have a habit of noticing where it's going. That's truly the only thing. What is the only thing that kills all your desires. But once you understand what is, it doesn't really bother you. But in many ways, it's not your fault. And not in many ways, but truly, it's not your fault, because there's momentum. There's momentum. The law of attraction will perpetuate the thoughts that you were thinking yesterday. It just will, because you're likely to pick up the thoughts. You put the resistance on the trail, and that's so nice to know, because you're the one who's leading everything. And today we're saying, when you're daydreaming, it's so valuable. But the danger of daydreaming, it's not really a danger, but the risk that you run when you're daydreaming is that the dreams that you have since it feels like a fantasy world that you're stepping into, and then you come back down to reality, there's a stark difference between the reality that you are living in your mind and the reality that you're seeing right now. And that widens the gap even more, and it helps you notice, it helps you notice where you truly are, and it aggravates the what is. It aggravates the fact that you're not there yet. And truly, it's not like no one can, but what is just there in front of you. And it's hard to not, because when you look at what is, and when you look at the absence of what you want, that's the beginning engine, just the beginning like motion forward of doubt. That's how doubt starts, because you're looking at what you want, what you don't want. And so we're saying, don't really, like, your daydreaming is not a process that will create anything. Your daydream is not about power. Your daydream is about distraction. Your daydream is to take your mind off of what is. And today we're saying, now, before you daydream, go find satisfaction first. And what does satisfaction feel like? Satisfaction is the craziest thing, because it's so simple, but it will literally connect you with source so faster than any process out there. Being satisfied and ready for more, that's what you want to be. Because once you're satisfied and then you're ready for more, you're about that life. You're ready for this. And once you're satisfied, you realize, I already have so much evidence of my desire. Because truly, there's evidence all over the place. You know, before anything is created, before there's a view on your YouTube channel, before there's money in your bank account, before the empire is created, before even one brick is laid down for that castle that you're going to live in tomorrow, it's all done 99% in the vibrational reality. So if you haven't seen it yet, it doesn't mean anything. It just means that it's still complete, but you haven't been able to see it yet where it is. And we're like, it's the best thing in the world. It's so good to know that you just can't see it yet. But it's good to be able to feel the proximity you are to the desire. To be like, yes, I'm close to it. Yes, I'm close to that signal. Isn't that interesting? Because it's not a physical place that you're going to go to. It's going to really come to you. It's a signal that it's a frequency that you're going to perceive and translate into the physical thing. So it's about tuning now. It's about tuning. And when you're in a place of satisfaction, then all of this just is so simple to understand. Because once you're truly satisfied, you get it. You really understand it. So now let's flesh out satisfaction so we can truly know when we're satisfied. Feeling satisfaction just feels so good. It feels so right. It feels like you're fulfilling. It just feels like, yes, this moment is exactly the way it needs to be. And you know, it's like there's a world out there and there's a future that's going to, you know, unravel right in front of me. But right now I'm good and I feel how I want to feel right now. And it just feels good to feel satisfied. I love feeling satisfied. It just feels like, yes, everything's all right. I get all this. I have no reason to freak out because everything that I want is done and I can just chill out, and chilling out is a true power. Satisfaction just feels so good. Because sometimes when you think about your desire, you think about your desire as like, oh, like once I get there, I'm done. That's it for me. Like I don't have to think about anything once I get there. Like once I finally get to that quote of money, I'm good. Like I don't have to worry. I don't have no more worries. But where you are right now, you're always going to be in the same position, which is the gap between where you are right now and where you want to be. That gap is always going to be there. So you have to get used to being satisfied, because there's always going to be that gap, because you're here for all of eternity. You're here for that exact reason, for that gap. And the better you get at managing that gap, at soothing that gap, the better life is for you now. When you're satisfied, you realize that no matter how, because when the desire is really big, you think, damn, like when I get that, it's going to be it. Like it's going to be done. Like my life is complete. But once you go over there, it's not like that, because once you get over there, there's nothing more to want. And we can even clean that up for you. You know, I'm just so excited for this to unfold. Like it's something that I really want, and I just know it's going to really, you know, really excite me. And it's going to be one of the greatest unfoldings of my lifetime. That's for sure. See, that's a different frequency. You always want to look forward, because you are really close to your desires. It's like you're driving to where you want to go, but you keep looking back. But we're like, just keep looking in the direction and notice what you're feeling. It's about the path. Like, what is your path? Your path is a feeling. It's a feeling. You feel your way. So once you feel good, it's like you're literally there. Isn't that interesting? That's kind of crazy. When you feel good, you're literally there. You're literally right in front of what you want. And it's just a frequency that you have to learn to, like, the mist has to part. It'll gradually come into your experience. That's crazy. That's actually really crazy. And not crazy in the sense where it's unbelievable, but it's crazy in the sense where that's just how easy it is. Friends, it's easy. It's so easy. Law of attraction is your best friend, but it's also your worst enemy when you're in those lower frequencies, because we don't want you to be in those lower frequencies, battling out fear, rage, and all those things, and then trying to daydream, because you're trying to fix it. You see, your daydream is just for fun. Once you're satisfied and then you try to daydream, and you don't have to start, you get ready, you achieve a frequency, and then the images started coming. That's when everything's really fun. Because here's the thing, when you're satisfied, you realize that the real prize is satisfaction. It's standing where you are right now and being like, I have what I'm really looking for. And I know this is not the mark on anyone's chart. Anyone out there would be like, this is crazy. What do you mean you're satisfied? There's so much that you have to do. But I know and I understand this is a vibrational reality, and I understand who I really am. I'm sourced in a body. And for me to be sourced in a body, all I have to do is just be satisfied. And that's me winning. That's my success right there. Sometimes that makes our human friends a little uncomfortable, because they're like, if I say I'm satisfied, then does that mean that I'm telling the universe I don't want it anymore? And we're like, well, every subject is two subjects. What do you sometimes most of the times when you're talking about what you want, you're actually talking about the absence of it. And so that's the thing. You're so used to the absence of what you want, that satisfaction, which is the presence of what you want, which what it feels like, it almost feels unnatural. But you want to learn how to train yourself into the presence of what you want. And how do you do that? Through daydreaming. But you want to start with satisfaction first. You want to build that foundation, because satisfaction is that core. Because here's the thing, when you're daydreaming, you realize that none of this stuff is going to feel any better than I feel right now. Which is interesting, because when something feels really big and it feels out of reach, then it feels like, well, like, this is something that I'm like, when I experience it, it'll be completely new. But when you break it down and you realize, you talk about why you want it, and you talk about the vibrational components of it, and you realize, hey, I've already felt so many of these emotions before. So that really shores up the belief factor. And it's like, okay, it shores up that belief factor. And then it's like, okay, I'm because we want you to be satisfied, but not complacent. We want you to be satisfied, so that from that place on your throne in that castle, now you can start to expect. Now you're like, yo, I'm satisfied. So everything I want is definitely coming. The money's coming. I'm gonna be so rich. I'm satisfied because I'm satisfied. Like, you know what we're saying is that once you've achieved that connection with source energy, that's when you can start talking. That's when you can start daydreaming. That's when you really want to get that gears going. But it's all from a place of satisfaction. You see, it's all just for the fun of it. It's all for the fun of it. And once you're satisfied, you truly understand that. And we are big proponents of satisfaction, because ultimately, you know what it is, like, there's so many approaches to this, because there are because everyone's in a different place. There's so many teachers, there's so many ways to describe it. But the laws of the universe are just consistent. And when you're satisfied, satisfaction and being ready for more in this now moment, making peace with your reality and finding satisfaction wherever you stand, that's it. That's all you need to do. And then the images start coming, and then you start daydreaming. But it's satisfaction. Satisfaction moves mountains. Satisfaction builds empires. It truly does. Because a lot of our friends, what they do is they don't like where they are right here, so they take action to get over there. And when they get over there, what they didn't like about being over here starts to become what is over there. And then they just follow all. It just becomes everywhere. Everywhere they go, it's just like the same things follow them, because you can't go anywhere. You have to fix it now. You have to change your frequency right now. But it's very easy. It's just so easy. And the more you understand this, the more you watch our content, the more you'll start to really feel your hands in the clay, and you realize that you're not doing anything wrong. You're just getting it more right over and over and over again. And so, friends, get into that satisfaction and then start daydreaming, because your desires are just reasons, excuses to think into. It's like, you have all this energy. Yes, we really want to tell you this. We have all this energy. It's like, where am I going to direct it now? Because that's how you felt when you were in the non-physical energy. You're like, yo, I'm so powerful. I'm so good at being non-physical. I have literally infinite intelligence. I have infinite intelligence. Now let me go into this human body and literally let me figure out what I can do with this infinite intelligence. Let me find out ways that will call me, that I can funnel and focus and harness my infinite intelligence. Because here's the thing, if you felt appreciation, if you felt satisfaction, if you even felt bliss, then you've felt the release of resistance that your death experience would net you. But you're releasing that resistance now. So you're one step ahead of the crowd. And so source is just general. Source is general. Source is mad powerful. But you're the one who knows where everything is. You're the one who knows what app is good for what. You're the one who knows how to use a phone. Source is general. And source is not better than you. No one is better than each other, because we're all in this together. We are all in this together. So keep being satisfied. It's like, what you want is so close. Just come on, you can bring it home. And even the fact that you can put words that clearly define what you want means that you're in the receiving one of the vortex to receive it. And it's like 99% already done. When we mean 99% done, we mean that when you do the last, 1%, 0.01% or whatever, then it comes so fast, and you're gonna just be like, and when it comes, it doesn't come in pieces. It comes like a full ass object. It's giving like your whole channel will blow up, not just one little video. It's like, it just continues to blow up, because that's how the vortex works. It's like, it's not gonna just give you a brainstorm idea. It's gonna give you a whole ass screenplay from beginning to end. That's just how it works. And the best way to really shore up your belief, because this is what it's all about. It's about shoring your belief, because you are where you are, and you're always gonna have this gap. Even the greats who you revere, they were all in the same position that you were, hoping for something, dreaming about something that they had no evidence of, but they were feeling it. They understood the pure desire. It felt good to them. And so you take score of, of how, of the things that you once didn't believe, but now are as you want them to be in your reality. And as you do that, you realize that you've been in the same position so many times, and you had to create a really good result. You have a great scoreboard. So continue to, and you have a great score sheet. So continue to remember that you really are always going to be in this gap. And what is always going to bother you. Find satisfaction regardless. Find that core who you are, find that vortex feeling, find that connection to your inner being, and find that satisfaction. So you can be satisfied and sit on your throne and be like, you know what, no desire is out of my reach because I have the vibrational tenet, I have the vibrational foundation of it right now. I have the real reason why I want everything, and so everything is just going to be fun. You know, the singing career, the writing career, all these things are just fun stops along the way. They're not these big things that are going to make my life experience. Sure, they will when people take a step back, and then when they make a movie about me, it'll seem so big, but to me it just feels normal. It feels natural. It just feels like a bunch of stops on my journey.